Just look at their body language and look at their engagement. Ask a trainer one question. Hey, what's the greatest thing that happened to you in the last 30 days? You know, you've been around me enough to know.
Like, yeah, that's me.
Like,
no,
I
not.
won't even spend a moment talking to a trainer or a watcher.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing worse than intellectually ignorant or intellectually arrogant people. And they present themselves because they're always right, or they talk and don't ask any questions. They challenge everything. Why? Because it's a defensive mechanism to try to prove somebody wrong. I did an Instagram post 2 days ago. I'll read it to you.
Get ready for this one. While he looks up this Instagram, I want to remind you his Instagram is Brandon M. Dawson.
I posted, you have 4 months left in 2021. That's 122 days, 2,928 hours, or 680 minutes. Plenty of time for you to learn new skill, change your routine, increase your income, lose weight, gain muscle, etc. Get after it. I did that on August 29th. I got a handful of people that are like, dude, you didn't even wait till September 1st. You're still 3 days early or whatever. I wrote, that's the whole point. Certain people are going to look for what's wrong and point that out versus what are you going to do with the 4 months?
Right.
Because why would you spend time pointing out to me that I was 2 days early because it's not September 1st?
Right.
And ignore the fact that you have 4 months to change your life. But see, that these people that say that will never change their life because the only thing they're looking for is what's wrong. What you think is what you say is what you do becomes your legacy. Do you know how many people will point out to us what's wrong with things? And then we'll ask that, okay, we heard you now. So tell us the top 3 things that are right.
Yep.
And they're stunned.
Yep.
They can't even think. Why? Because they're freaking drainers. And drainers, the only way drainers survive or watchers is to find fault. Broken thinkers find fault. Reckless doers find fault. They need to take something away in order to validate their inability to create the results. It's a natural defense mechanism.
You know a drainer or a watcher in your life? You know somebody? Think of that person who, how to spot a drainer. That's a whole series.
Dude, a drainer's so easy. Just look at their body language and look at their engagement. Ask a drainer one question. Hey, what's the greatest thing that happened to you in the last 30 days? Like if you could just pick one amazing thing that happened, and they'll be like, oh, my tire busted. My car broke down. I lost my job. I kicked my dog. Like, everything is like the world's falling.
And it all happened to them.
And it's always happening to them. They're a victim of circumstance, every circumstance, but they are the circumstance. People go through cycles. People have bad days. People have bad things that happen to them. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the natural, inherent, continuous sucking the life out of the room people. Now, here's the thing. At least with a drainer, you can spot them. The thing that's so reckless, you can spot a watcher because then you're like, hey, can we make 100 calls today? Oh, yeah. Hey, can we train a card on you? Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then you see they didn't log in. At least those things, you're like, okay, out. The worst thing is the secret killer of all, and that's the reckless doer or the bad thinker. If you own your business, you got to gauge that. If you don't have common sense, then you're going to be no good to anybody. And you're going to be a danger to everyone.
I do want to ask David as a question that I was wondering too. Do you ever try, or is it even possible to motivate a drainer, or drainers like, are they just done?
A majority of business owners created the drainers.
Oh, law of mirror, right?
Yeah, you injected that in. Well, my business was doing great and then COVID hit.
Uh-oh.
And COVID caused me.
No offense to some of you.
No, but look, COVID didn't do shit but expose a weakness you already had. The question you have to ask yourself is, how is it that when you talk to some business owners, they're like, my business was struggling and then COVID hit and then I blew up. Because you got the shit scared out of you. So you took action. Because you thought you were going to lose what you had. So you went after results with tenacity.
That's right.
because you found something in a marketplace where you can make it work. People have to be good people to attract good people, because if they're not, people don't want to be around them.
That's right.
So the reason I bring that up is when you ask about drainers in the environment, I will tell you a majority of the business owners act like drainers. They create drainers, and they do it by abdicating. So they hire somebody, hey, Buck, I need you to take care of this and make it work while I go do something else for the business. They don't help you. They don't assist you. They don't get you training. They don't align you. And so you're out doing it. And then they're like, Buck, what are you doing? Eventually, Buck is frozen with fear because he doesn't know what to do. If he knew what to do, he wouldn't be working for you. He'd be doing it by himself or for somebody else. Right. So you create drainers by the way you engage team members. And so what you got to do is you have to be the highest example. And when you ask a question, can you motivate a drainer? Well, first of all, no human being can motivate another human being.
That's right. We took this note 2 weeks ago from you.
You can inspire them. You can encourage them, but you can't motivate them. They have to have the internal motivation. But I'll tell you what, you can demotivate people. You can take away from people. You can oppress people. You can discourage people. Wow. And then they become drainers because they can't contribute into the environment being the best version of themselves. So my question to you is, when you honestly look at yourself and the engagement you're putting in the environment every single day, are you being the best version of yourself? Because if you're not being the best version of yourself and you're cramming down on your people, or you're not aligning them, you're not assisting them, you're not helping them, then you are creating drainers in your own organization. And until you have that law of mirror, that self-reflection, and engage differently, you might very well have drainers in your business because you've created them.
I've heard you talk about this for 2 years now. And like, I still learn sitting here next to him. I've heard this over and over, and I still pick up little nuggets. Is it fair to say you don't hire drainers, you create them then?
No. I mean, look, you don't know. People can fool you.
Okay.
Right? But your job is to have a business system and to have enough process and enough encouragement and training in place. I know right away if I hire somebody and I tell them, look, our core philosophy here is everyone trains in the team every morning. Every leader needs to train and be an example. We're a training organization. We're a development organization. We develop human beings before we do anything else, because if our human beings don't grow, the business cannot grow. And if you go, okay, yeah, I get it, man, great. And then you come to work and you don't train, you don't log in, and I come to you, I'm like, hey, Buck, I noticed you didn't train this morning. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got so much new stuff I forgot. Great, no problem. Hey, but let me sit with you tomorrow. I'm going to come train with you. Yeah. And I'm going to show you how this works. And I get in there and we train for 2 or 3 days. I'm like, you got this? Yep. You got this? And then I go and disengage, and then you don't train. You're a drainer. That's it. And you're out. The longer you tolerate people violating your rules, your process, your core values, you got to remove them, because the minute you don't, the rest of your organization says you're not serious, you're not committed. And when you show your organization you're not serious and you're not committed, now you're the drainer. So if you want to know if you're a drainer or not, ask yourself the question, are you all in? Have you removed conflicting intentions? Are you being the best version of yourself? Are you focused on results? Are you focused on other people's success? Are you helping others be the best version of themselves? Ask yourself those questions. And if you are not participating in the game, get in the game.